Condensation polymerization of ethylene glycol, also known as ethanediol and terephthalic acid, by Jakob Comment. So first of all, we start off with a key. On the left hand side we can see the shapes, on the right hand side of the explanation. So first of all we have a benzene ring, which is represented by a hexagon and a circle in the middle, and the equation is C6H4, followed by a carbon atom, an oxygen atom, a hydrogen atom, and a thin black line to represent the bonds. Now we have terephthalic acid, which is a single monomer of terephthalic acid, as you see. It consists of one benzene ring, 2 carbon atoms, 4 oxygen atoms, and 2 hydrogen atoms. Now on the oxygen and carbon atoms you can see there's 2 double bonds. These double bonds do not split at all throughout the condensation polymerization reaction. Now we see another monomer of ethylene glycol. This consists of 2 carbon atoms, 2 oxygen atoms, and 6 hydrogen atoms. The general equation for condensation polymerization of ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. So first off we have terephthalic acid joining with ethanediol. Now we get a single monomer of polyethylene terephthalate with water at the end, and this will be further explained in the next slides. So terephthalic acid and ethylene glycol, they join together and the process is shown of the single monomers. A water molecule is formed, the oxygen joins with the carbon to make it a monomer of polyethylene terephthalate. The single bonds, the free radicals left on the sides, are because if another monomer of ethylene glycol was added, the hydrogen and oxygen would be released and they would join on with another hydrogen, and it would make another water molecule at the bottom. And similarly with the other side, if this joined on with a terephthalic acid, the hydrogen and the hydrogen would join with an oxygen and a hydrogen atom to make another water molecule at the bottom. But because this is a single monomer, I left it at the side to just show a further explanation. So polyethylene terephthalate is a polyester formed by condensation polymerization of ethanediol and terephthalic acid. It is pretty much used for drinking bottles, food packaging, photographic films, audio and videotapes, clothing fibers, windsurfer sails, synthetic blood vessels, and it's also a skin substitute for burn victims. Now I will show you terephthalic acid and ethylene glycol as a polymer. So first off we can see terephthalic acid and another monomer of ethylene glycol, and then another monomer of terephthalic acid, and then another monomer of ethylene glycol. Now on the left hand side you can see the hydrogen and oxygen disappearing. This is because if another monomer of ethylene glycol, for example, was to join on, it would make a water molecule as seen below. So you can see now a water molecule is formed, the oxygen moves over to make a polyethylene terephthalate monomer. Now another water molecule has split, the hydrogen moves up, oxygen joins, and this makes another monomer of polyethylene terephthalate, and then another water molecule is formed and the bonds are shown, and the oxygen will join over to show a polymer of polyethylene terephthalate. Now the hydrogen and oxygens are disappearing because, as I said before, if a monomer of terephthalic acid was added, the hydrogen and oxygen would join to another hydrogen, therefore creating another water molecule, because H2O is represented by 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. So those free radicals will join on to 2 other separate monomers, making it a bigger polymer, but due to the lack of space on the screen, unfortunately I couldn't have enough room. So I have also made my model in Play-Doh in order to be different, or for aesthetics and originality. As you see, I have a key. The key on the left hand side shows the shapes, and on the right hand side shows the explanations. So the first is a benzene ring of C6H4 made out of Play-Doh in a hexagonal shape with a circle in the middle. Then we have a carbon atom, which is blue, an oxygen atom, which is red, and a hydrogen atom, which is yellow. Then we have the bonds, which are skewers and toothpicks. So over here we have an ethylene glycol monomer, which is made up of 2 carbon atoms. As you see, they are blue, 2 oxygen atoms, the ones that are red, and 6 hydrogen atoms, the ones which are yellow. Now this ethylene glycol monomer will attach to a terephthalic acid, showing polyethylene terephthalate. So now we have a terephthalic acid monomer. This contains 2 carbon atoms, 4 oxygen atoms, 2 hydrogen atoms, and a benzene ring with an equation of C6H4. Now the double bonds between the oxygen and the carbons will not be touched throughout this whole condensation polymerization reaction. I will now show a condensation reaction between ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. So first of all, the oxygen and the hydrogen will split from the carbon, and this will make our water molecule, and a hydrogen will split from terephthalic acid and join with the already oxygen and hydrogen, making a water molecule. 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. Now the free radical over here will attract this hydrogen, moving it to the side, and this oxygen atom, will join with this carbon atom, making polyethylene terephthalate. Now I will show the condensation polymerization reaction as a polymer. Starting off from the right hand side, as I said previously, the oxygen and the hydrogen atom will split, causing a free radical. The hydrogen atom will split from its oxygen atom, causing a water molecule. 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. Now this hydrogen atom will change positions and move to this side, and this oxygen atom will join with the free radical. Now towards the other side, we can see that the hydrogen atom will split from here, and that the oxygen and hydrogen atom will split from here, causing a water molecule to form. Now this hydrogen will move to the top towards the free radical, and this oxygen will move to the side in order to make polyethylene terephthalate. And now we have 2 water molecules formed. And for the final reaction, this oxygen and hydrogen will be removed. As seen previously, this hydrogen and its bond will be removed to make a water molecule. That's our 3rd water molecule. The hydrogen atom will split from the carbon atom, and the oxygen atom will move to make polyethylene terephthalate.